right. All right. All right. What's going on, party people? This your man Griff. Literally just getting home. I mean, just getting home. Woo boy. What's going on with y'all? Thank y'all for hitting the like button. Yeah. Ripping and running all over the place today. And I mean, just really getting here in the house. Haven't even taken off my hat, nothing. Um, or anything. Came home, grabbed me a vegan cupcake, bottle of water, drank me some cough medicine, and hopped up here. So what's going on with y'all today, party people? Gonna have ourselves a little fun tonight, as always. Um, got a got a video I want to show y'all. So it's good to see everybody. Good evening to you, Caprentice. All right, what we got going? Let me go back. All right. Yep, yep. I ain't gonna turn on the music tonight. Am I hiding in the background? Nah, I hope y'all can see me. Hope you can. All right. Here we go. Yep. Okay, y'all can see me. All right. Trying to keep yeah, yeah, it is cold. It is cold, cold, cold. It is real cold. It's cold here. Yeah, that cold ain't no joke here. That stuff. So my banners. Yep. Hit the like button, share, comment, and everything. Yep, we have started. I was running a little late, Blue. I was running a little late. It's and I actually did have a fritter earlier today. I actually did, and one of my favorite desserts is red velvet. And I saw a red velvet donut at over there at Dunkin' Donuts, and I didn't get a chance to swing back by to get one. And today was just wild. There's nothing wrong at all with working with direct or not, but when you work in direct, I'm gonna tell you now, you got to be ready when they call you. My direct called me at 9 something this morning, and I had a 5 o'clock with them, and it was like, "Hey, can you meet earlier?" And I was like, "Okay," And I said, "Well, I got a 3 o'clock," and they was like, "Well, what about 11 a.m.?" They wanted to meet. They wanted the closing to happen 6 hours earlier, and I was like, "Oh man!" So I had to scramble and everything. And when I do my rental car, I have to turn it in. Sometimes I have to. They let me keep the same one. But on my way to the rental, before I even got to the rental car people, they're like, "Hey, we're gonna upgrade you." So I was like, "All right, bet." So I had to take everything out the rental car, which included my scanner, go down there to them, get that done, and then so after I got everything taken out, then I'm on my way to them, and it was about 9:15. I was supposed to be there at 9:30. They're like, "Oh yeah, we need you. Can you come at 11?" So that meant I had to go down there, get the car, come back, pick up my scanner and anything else that I normally would have, and then go out to the appointment. I got there at what 10:58. So got that done. And then I went and oh, this your first Fritter Friday? All right, cool. And I got out there and got that done. So when you're working direct, you just got to be ready to rock and roll with them when they say it's time to rock and roll. That's what you got to do. You got to be ready to rock and roll. And if you're not, after a while, they're gonna be like deuces and everything. So I got it together. I got it together. What's going on, Leo? What's going on? What's going on? We got a good number of people here in the his house. We got, you know what? I have tried ice cream on the fritters, and I'm gonna tell you, it is fabulous. It is fabulous. I ain't gonna lie, it is fabulous. Tonight I got this vegan cupcake from Kroger, and I wasn't too thrilled about it at first. My wife likes them, so I bought it for her while I was eating the red velvet one. But I ain't gonna lie, that bad boy is on point. Is on point. That vegan cupcake from Kroger is on point. It's lemon and raspberry. So that's an odd combination for me. Like lemon by itself, raspberry, but together, it is really, really, really nice. So um I'm gonna get right into this. So y'all know how well a lot of y'all know how I feel about all of this stuff that's going on in the notary business. And y'all know my whole goal is I want y'all to succeed. I want everybody to go out here and do the best they can. But what I straight up dislike, to the point you could probably even say hate, is all of these folk that keep popping up as if they're your savior for the notary business. And I'm just personally just sick and tired of it. And I just don't think there's no need for it. There's no room for it at all, because a lot of them they can't save themselves, and they're constantly acting like they're the ones. I got you, lady. I got you. I got you in just a second. And they think that they have the knowledge, and a lot of them, if you look at their history, they never done anything for us teaching and educating and helping anybody their whole life and stuff. And they come out here and they're just doing everything they can to take advantage. And my goal is to help y'all to see that and to make up your own mind and decision whether or not you're going to spend money with them. It's that simple. And I'm going to just be real with you. A lot of you young ladies, a lot of you black ladies, you are supporting people. And I'm not just talking about the two main ones, Vanessa and Kendra. There's other black ladies out here who are teaching stuff that y'all are supporting because they're black. And honestly, some of them aren't doing y'all right. And y'all need to address that with them. I don't really address it a whole lot here, because then I'd be considered, ooh, you're a hater of women. No, doing somebody wrong is doing somebody wrong. And y'all know this. And I'm not asking anybody to admit, like, hey, yeah, that happened to me. Look, I'll get to I will put it this way. I was going to get off of YouTube not too long after I started, but a young lady spoke to me and told me she liked what I was doing and it was helping her. But I also heard from a lot of young black ladies, or just black women in general, that was talking about how they was getting taken advantage of and they was being done wrong. And the people who was doing them wrong were other black women. Okay. Now, for those of you who aren't black, you're like, what are you talking about? Don't worry about it. Okay. If you want to click away, click away. Okay. But this is just truth out here. And whether you want to accept it or not, that's on you. But there's some bull going on out here. And when you look at the number one people who are talking about we're going to train and help people out, and the number one group that keeps bailing on people taking their money, the number one group, and there's some trainers out here that are solid, and then people be charging back money and taking money from them. It's a whole bunch of stuff. It's this community right here. Okay, straight up, straight up. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's straight up. And personally, I'm sick and tired of it. And there's other people who are doing stuff. They're just doing it from a little slicker standpoint, but they're doing stuff. Okay, and it's a lot of mess going on out here. And I know I'm taking a chance and a risk at doing it, because some of y'all who watch the channel, y'all signing company owners, and he's like, well, I don't want to deal with him. Okay, yeah, but I'm one of your best notaries. I'm gonna do my notary job right, but I still got to speak the truth. And if you're not interested in hearing the truth, that's on you. But you're being affected by all of this mess. Um, bad apples, girl. Ain't no just apples. It's a whole daggone tree. It's a whole orchard out here. It's a whole orchard of bad apple trees, straight up orchard of bad apple trees. And the sad part is, people who've been in this business way longer than me, they know this, but a lot of people got too much money invested. A lot of people are making too much money, and they rather just ignore the problem that we have that's at hand and just blind eye and just like, hopefully it'll get better. But let's just be real, it is not getting better. More and more people are coming out with a whole bunch of mess. And that's why I said all these people talking trash about this business, guess what? None of them are trying to leave the business. They still want to keep their little pinky toe in the business so they can try to get some kind of money, either by making you pay them for some kind of so-called training, or they're just picking up those orders that they tell you not to pick up. And they really are doing it. And if it's not them, then they got maybe their 18 or 19, 20-year-old son or daughter doing those low orders and putting it into the household. That's what's going on. So I got started in this business in 2018, and I saw right away that, you know what, I can do this business full time. And I'm gonna play you a video real quick. I'm gonna play y'all a video, put it full screen here, and play y'all a video um of me when I first got in this business. I got it right here, and I don't know. Hold on. I'm gonna play this video, and this is from, I believe, hold on, I can tell you exactly when I wrote. I don't know why I can't remember. This is from November 15th, 2020. Now I want y'all to listen. Please listen carefully to what I am saying, that some of the issues were back then. 15 November 2020. It's only 4 minutes and 51 seconds. Okay. Just listen to this video, and I'm telling you, you're gonna be like, okay. And then I'm gonna tell you why I did this video, because there's a reason why I did it. Okay. So let me share my screen, turn on audio so y'all can hear it. Um, but I think I'm gonna just do it full screen. All right, so y'all listen to this video of me announcing that I'm going full time in this business back in on November 15th, 2021. And keep in mind, I had just left my job, quit my job. My last day was on November 13th of 2020. I said 2021 of November 13th of 2020 is when I quit my job, and November 15th, 2020 is when I made this announcement here. So please listen. What's going on, party people? This here video specifically for my YouTubers. Okay, thank y'all for subscribing to me. I wasn't expecting or didn't expect to have 100 and something subscribers, but I guess I'm doing something right. This video is to let y'all know that as of today, I'm 100% full-time as a notary. I resigned from my job last week. Today was my last day, Friday, the 13th of November, and I bounced out. I said, I'm tired of it. I didn't like the W-2 environment anymore. You know how stressful that can be. Then you have difficult people. I was like, it's time for me to go. And I've been working on this business for 2.5 years. It's grown to a point to where it's matching my daytime salary. And I said, I can go out here and double or even triple that. So I said, I'm going to take advantage of it. I know a lot of people get worried. You know, the notaries say, well, you know, this upswing and then now the downturn. Look,
There's training out there. There's a lot of different companies out there that are showing us how to stay relevant. And one of the ways is general notary work. There's estate planning, there's depositions. Anything that's not loan signing is viable to bring you money. I know a lot of you don't want to do the $30 orders, the $50 orders, the $75 orders, but I'm telling you, money is money, because that bill collector don't care whether it was a $30 order or a $300 order. They want stay money. Okay, I mean, let's just be real. And none of us probably are hurting right now, but we need to stack away. I mean, heck, even if you just did the thing of, I don't really like doing $30 orders or $50 orders, but let's say this here, you do 5 of those a month, $50 orders, 5 of those a month. That's what, $250. And you just take that $250 and just stack it off to the side. Every month you do 5 $50 orders. You don't spend it, you don't use it, you just stick it off to the side. You have you something, you have your little bit of change at the end of the year. Or you can use those $50 orders to pay for your paper, your toner. Them $50 orders come in handy. I know people don't like them, but I'm telling you, if this within your zip code where you live, go ahead on and knock it out. That's all I've been doing. If the $50 order, $30 order, $60 order come in and it's in my zip code, if I can do it, I'm knocking it out. Zip over there, boom, 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 get it done. Because a lot of times they're sending it to you because you're in that zip code. And they say, well, maybe you can go on and knock this out. And if I'm able to, I go ahead on and punch it out, get my $30, my $50, and I'm good. So I'm not saying you can make a living off of $30 or $50. No, by any means. But that's my paper money. That is my paper money. That's my toner money. That's the money for my drum on my laser printer. That's what that is. It's gas money, all of that. So I just want to throw this video out here just to say, hey, I'm full-time now. Thanks for y'all encouragement. And to those of you, you got to build that business. I'm telling you. And I'm going to have time now to put some more videos out, just sharing my experience, sharing what's going on with me. And feel free to comment and suggest things. If there's a topic or something question you got, hit me up. And probably the next time y'all see me, I won't be looking so scruffy and everything and all that. So I got to convince the wife to shave me down. She likes the hair and all of that. So she said she's a cosmetologist, so she probably just neaten me up a little bit. But I'm feeling excellent, fantastic. I'm not nervous. I'm not scared. I'm not shuddering or shivering or any of that, because I've been working hard to prepare for this. I mean, I poured a lot into this, and it's doable. It is doable. So for those notaries out there, stay encouraged, take advantage, build your business, get that daggone money. Okay, 5 $50 orders a month. I think you can handle that. 5. That's all you need to do. 5, and that right there covers your paper and some gas and some going out to eat food with your family and all that kind of stuff, food money and all that. Just do it, okay? All right, peace.
Oh man, I might have cut the end part of the video off. My bad. Hold on. I think I actually cut the end part of the video. Hold on. Let me,
because I've been working hard to prepare for this.
Hold on 1 second. Yep, I think I cut the end part of the video off. Didn't realize it. My bad.
She's a cosmetologist, so she probably just neaten me up a little bit. But I'm feeling excellent, fantastic. I'm not nervous. I'm not scared. I'm not shuddering or shivering or any of that, because I've been working hard to prepare for this. I mean, I poured a lot into this, and it's doable. It is doable. So for those notaries out there, stay encouraged, take advantage, build your business, get that daggone money. Okay, 5 $50 orders a month. I think you can handle that. 5. Just that's all you need to do. 5, and that right there covers your paper and some gas and some going out to eat food with your family and all that kind of stuff, food money and all that. Just do it, okay? All right, peace.
All right. So, and check this out, just so y'all can see. This video only has gotten 657 views in 3 years. That's why I keep telling y'all, go back and look at the videos from the past. There's a lot of good information in there. A lot of people, y'all want just the current videos, but there's stuff that's out there that's, as everybody say, gems. You know, there's gems on my community tab. Let me put the community tab link in here. On the community tab, as you can see right here, this here's a video that was like 6 days later, talking about how and why I got started as a notary. Okay, y'all need to listen to that. Now that video got 6,000 views because see what it is, people love to look at the videos of, oh, how you get started as a notary, thinking that there's going to be this magic pill that, oh, you want to hit it and then it's going to just pop and just make it happen for you. No, this thing takes some hard work. This takes some work and some effort and some determination. Now, can a couple of y'all just type in the chat some of the stuff that you noticed that I talked about back then that's similar to what I've been saying just this month alone, January? There's some things, and even last year, there's some things that I said back then, 3 years ago, that's still happening today. What did y'all notice about some of the stuff that I was saying? Now, Miss Terry already said, calling out people not wanting to do the low orders. Yeah, the low pay. What have I been telling y'all over and over again? And I don't even like to say telling a lot because it makes it seem like it's real aggressive for some people. But what have I been sharing with y'all? I've been sharing with y'all that this arguing and fussing and complaining about the pay has been going on since before any of y'all got into this business, before I got in this business. That was from 3 years ago. So that tells you what? That prior to me doing that video, there were people who was doing a bunch of arguing and fussing. That's what this means, that they was fussing about it. And that's why I was saying they ain't left the business. None of them have quit. They still in here. They got their pinky toe. They all of that still in the business. Why? Because they are afraid that if they walk away from this business that they're complaining about, that it might pop. They're just waiting for it to pop. And see, Terry, I've been working with her. She got her first order tomorrow, $20. It's a loan modification, 2 signatures, 2 acknowledgments. She's making her first money, $20. And nobody better not give her a hard time about it. I'm serious. There's no need. None of us have the right to give somebody a hard time for going out here and making some money. None whatsoever. We got a lady from Florida, Ronnie. Me and her was talking earlier tonight. She's, as always, doing it up down there in Florida and stuff. But as you can see, the issues are the same. The question is, are you going to step up and be the man and woman that you are, be the grown-up that you are, and push through all of that crap and go out here and do this business? So now that you have documented proof that this complaining, that these older notaries as well as these newfangled notaries are coming out about the pay. Well, I don't like this. I don't like that. It's not worth my time. Nothing is worth any of these folks' time. Everybody keeps complaining about what's not worth their time. Then what is worth your time? That's the thing. And they're talking all of this smack, but yet they don't have a solution to the issue. the issue is this, and they have no solution, but yet they keep presenting themselves as somebody who can train you, teach you, and help you to make more money in this business. And I'm like, if you're really making that much money, why when you got time to do all of this? You see what I'm saying? So I'm about to bring up this wonderful, wonderful notary, and she gonna talk to y'all about her experience. She just did her first 3 closing day. And I am super excited and proud of her. I asked her would she hop on and just share with the party people and let them know. And she said, all right, I'll do it. And I'm gonna tell you, she is one hardworking young lady. She is one hardworking young lady taking great care of her family, all of that. So this here is our wonderful friend, Jessica, and she's up there in the Virginia, here in Virginia, I believe in the Richmond area. So what's going on, lady? Talk to the party people.
Hey y'all, hey. Oh my goodness. It's so weird to be on here. I don't know how you do this. It feels like you're talking to yourself. I get it.
I
But
told you, all you see is you just talking to
yeah,
yourself.
that's really weird. Oh, I can see the comments over here. Thank you, Terry.
Yeah. So talk to me. So okay, so how long have you been a notary? How long when did you start this?
So I technically became a notary public in April of 2023, but did absolutely nothing with it because I got it in the beginning of April, and then the end of April, I got a new job. So
Gotcha.
there was no time to focus on that when, I was focusing on a new job. So what had happened was October 5th, I was let go from my job. And October 6th, I started my LLC, which is Serenity Mobile Notary Services. um,
Cool.
so yeah, from there, I just hit the ground running. I did not discover Griff right away, unfortunately. I discovered him maybe, I would say honestly, maybe like a month after that. So around November, I discovered him. And literally when I say binge watch since the start, like since 3 years ago, binge watched his channel. And I couldn't be more grateful. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am today. I just started updating my Snap Docs from the last few that came in, but I think I'm almost at 40 right now, which is absolutely insane. I
Wait a
was
minute,
telling
40 since when?
since October 6th, I guess you could technically say. But my first order, I didn't get my first order until that's a good question. I didn't think it was at least a month before I got my first order. So 2 months
So
maybe.
probably sometime this past November.
Yeah.
Okay, so November, December, January, February.
And of course,
So that was in 3 months, about 4.
yeah.
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 Okay. Okay.
So I do take everything, y'all. I am Griff's follower to the T, like to the T. So I do take everything, no matter what it is. And speaking of my 3-order day, the way it came about is absolutely insane because I was ironically talking to Griff about how I was like feeling down because I was like, okay, new year, let's get these orders rolling in. And it was silent, like silent.
Mm-hmm.
Except for one company, which I told him about, but the company was sending literally no more than $30 orders to drive over an hour away or over 65 miles away to do like ID verifications. And that's all I was seeing for the first almost 2 weeks of January.
Gotcha.
And literally a couple days ago, I received a call from a lady there. I did her loan app in November. Oh my goodness, it was November because she was the first. I guess you can say signing, but even though you don't sign in a loan app, but anyway, she was my first signing. So I got a call from the lady that I did her loan app, and she was like, Jessica, do you remember me? You did my loan app in November. And I was like, yeah, of course. She was like, well, I got approved and I want you to do my refi. And I was like, of course. And she was like, but they only use their own notaries. But I told them absolutely not, because I've had a bad experience. They sent like a man to her house and she didn't have a good experience. So she said she dug and found my card and asked them, could she use me? And they said that they don't use notaries that are less than 2 years old. Like they consider that way too new, too much room for errors, all that stuff. So she gave me the number of the title company, the guy at the title company. So I called him and he was like, well, I technically don't do the scheduling, but I'll pass your information along and let her know what's going on. So then the lady, I guess the head honcho in charge, she called me and she called me like an hour and a half later. And she was like, sorry it took so long to get back to you, but I had to really do some research on you and do some digging because you are way less than a year into the business. But I made some calls, I did some digging, I checked your certifications, and you're all good. So we are going to give you the order. I have heard no complaints from you. But it was just super crazy that I, I I got that because of a lady remembered me from doing her loan app. So that kicked off the first signing of my 3 signing day. And then I received another notification and I said that I was available. They called me and I told Griff this, absolutely insane. They called me and I don't know if y'all remember the video that Griff put out about like we're independent contractors and you're not about to call me asking me to do an interview to work for you when I work for no one but myself. So to make a super long story short, they were like, oh, I see that you accepted or you said you're available for the notification that we sent out. And I was like, yes. And she was like, well, do you mind if I ask you a couple of interview questions? And I was like, well, actually, I do mind because I'm an independent contractor and I don't do interviews. I said, all of my information is updated on my NNA profile as well as my SnapDocs, and you can feel free to look there. And she was like, she said, apologies, I'll look into it and then I'll get back to you. And then she called me like 30 minutes later and said, I looked over everything looks good. Apologies if I offended you asking for an interview. And I told her no worries, blah, 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 blah. So I got that order, but if I never watched Griff's videos, I would have sat there looking crazy, being a business owner and interviewing to do and it was a $65 signing, by the way, which I don't mind because like I said, I take everything. But it was a $65 signing and I would have sat there as a business owner doing an interview. It would have looked crazy. So that's another reason. Like there's so many reasons I can thank Griff for all the information that he has put out there. But that was the second signing. And then the third one was a notification from a company that I've actually worked for about a month ago, maybe. So they gave me that no problem. So I am starting to see that, like in the beginning, I would say I'm available and wouldn't hear a peep. But now that I have a few under my belt and I've accepted those $30, $40, $50 orders, $60 orders, the companies are like, oh yeah, we've worked with her before, she can have this one. So now that I say I'm available, I actually get orders. Before, not so much. But yeah, my 3 signing day went absolutely amazing. No complaints whatsoever. It went smoothly. I got approvals to drop the documents right away after the scan backs, and no issues. And the company that said that they require 2 years for their notaries, they added me to their notary database. They said they only have a handful of notaries in our area. So they added me. Hopefully some come rolling in from them, but it was a success and I'm grateful for you.
Well, you're welcome. And this is what it's about. So like with being, and she's part of the YouTube channel membership also. And I haven't even had the need to do a document review with you.
Guys, I watched your videos.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a joke when I say I binge watch, like I binge watch. So, I mean, all the information's out there. Well, coming from you.
So she's looking at the videos, and the answers are in the videos if you listen carefully. And because see, here's what happens sometimes. People will sometimes we as human beings will listen to a video or listen/watch a video looking for something to be awry. And you're missing the points.
Yep.
The points are there, but you're like, well, you didn't say. And then it's like, go back about, oh, yeah, you did say. because we're looking for stuff to be missed so much. And I try to be as articulate and as detailed as I possibly can, which makes my videos long and I'm repeating myself. But it's because I recognize that everybody has a different learning style, different comprehension level. So I'm trying to hit it from as many different angles as I can so that everybody can get it. And even when you know, because sometimes people don't get it, like my man Frank from Lower Alabama, he said he'll go back and look at the videos 2 and 3 times. And there are a lot of people who do that. And I'm like, cool. And I was, and you know, and I was very impressed because I was like, I was waiting for you to call me and say, hey, okay, let's do a document review to make sure I understand the notarization part, but you never did.
I
But
will
then,
say there was that one time I called you. Well, I sent you a photo of a document and you called me, and instead of giving me the answer, like you made me talk through the process out loud.
yeah, I
And
remember
by
that.
the time we were done, I was like, really, Jess? Really? Like really? So I appreciate you for that as well. But yes, y'all, he even with me, because you know we talk all the time, but even with me, he doesn't just give me the answer. Like, and I appreciate him more for that because it makes me think instead of just, all right, Griff saved the day, let me get back to doing what I'm doing. So now I won't run across this issue ever again. Because
Hmm.
you walked through it and you were like, well, wait a minute, well, why would you think this, or what, well, why would that happen? And I was sitting there like, yeah, why would that happen? So yeah, there was
Correct.
that one time, but it was a quick talk through, and I was like, yeah, like I'm tripping. And that's another thing. Like I when I first started, I was probably like many of you, and the orders came in, and I told myself I was ready, but I was like freaking out. I probably bombed my first signing after that loan app, like my first real signing.
Hmm.
Now that I look back, I probably no, I wouldn't say I bombed it, but I probably made a mistake. But I have worked for that company again before, so I'm not going to say I did make a mistake. But I used to be super nervous, and I used to like second guess myself because it felt too easy. And
You're right.
really think about it, our job is easy to a certain extent.
Yeah, it is.
You're
Our
doing
job is very easy.
you're doing one thing. So I found
It's easy.
myself in that situation. I was just really second guessing myself, and there's no need to, because I do what I do. I know how to do it. If there's a question, Griff has a million videos. You just type it in the description and boom, the answer is right there. But at the end of the day, we're doing the same thing over and over and over again. So as far as the second guessing myself, that call really helped me get out of the whole aspect of second guessing myself, because at the end of the day, we're doing one thing and one thing only. So
Yeah, and that's the whole key thing. And see, this now think about it now. Think about it, y'all. And I don't know if anybody even picked up on what was the true catalyst of her moving toward being put on this company's list. The true catalyst of it was her doing the loan
load
application.
apps.
The
Yep.
loan application that probably didn't pay but maybe what, 50 bucks?
It was 50. Yep.
50 bucks for the loan app. But look at what it netted her after the fact. So
175, which is another reason that company vetted me the way they do, and they don't accept notaries for less than um
2 years.
less than 2 years. And it was a hybrid, so it was only 60 pages. And I got 175 for it, but I was starting to see like the way they operate, the way they email, like super professional. They said they've been in the business
Mhm.
over 20 years. And they're in all 50 states allegedly. But yeah, it really gave me insight onto how things run on the back end.
And this is why I need y'all, and really you need for yourself to just get out there and do it. This is why I have so many fits with these notaries who are just coming out here and whining and complaining about stuff, and you haven't even gotten started. And if y'all don't realize it, and I'm just gonna say it plainly, they're targeting y'all. They're targeting you and hoping that you will be ignorant and unlearned enough that you would just fall for what they're saying and believe them, because they present themselves in such a pristine and crisp way that you're like, they wouldn't lie to me. And they're lying to you. And even if you want to say, well, now they're not lying, they're just not giving you the full story. They're giving you enough to make you doubt yourself and doubt your ability that you've already walked in. Note what I'm saying. You walked in this ability to get things done prior to meeting them, and you meet them, and now you don't know what you're going to do. You're like, I don't know what. So here they are saying, and again, you say, well, what's this 2-year deal? Part of the reason why there's this 2-year requirement is because so many notaries have listened to folk like them, messed up stuff for these companies, and they say, we got to put a requirement. We got to do something. Because if you think about it, it'll take about 6 months to a year before you realize, you know what? That person was full of mess and they got me running all over the place. And then it's going to take you probably another year to get all of that stuff flushed out of you so you can actually be ready. And hopefully you'll be trying to do some orders and stuff. This is why I'm telling you, the more you do orders, the more you take any kind of order, you will see real quickly whether or not the mess that these people are trying to sell you and share with you and have you in their little private groups and in their little this, that, and the other is even is even true or anything. Because once you start actively doing this business, now you're gonna be like, okay, they said this and this ain't nowhere near. Wait a minute. This is not that hard. This is not that. What are they? What are they scared about? And you start seeing, I made myself available. I did the order, and next thing I know, all of these other opportunities come. And here's the thing: as I keep sharing with y'all, none of these companies care about what you made with some other company. All they care about is, do you have experience? Have you done enough work to make us to show us that you're okay? So what did they do? Somewhere, which platform was this through signing order?
Yes.
So here's what they did in signing order, and you've already had done some orders through signing order prior to them, that company, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so here's what they did. Okay, here's the secret sauce, y'all. Jessica was like, I'm not going to do an interview with y'all because, and technically you don't need to, there's no need to do. What's the whole point of us having a profile? And you're talking about, well, I'm going to ask you these questions and let me test you. My profile says it all. And if you don't believe my profile, I get it. You have that right to. So what did they do? Which they should have done and should do is, oh, we see that you've done closings for these companies. Okay. Hey, how was she? How was she? How was she? Good, good. Could be a little bit better. Okay, gotcha. But overall, would you use her again? Or you would? Okay, bet. All right. Yep, let's use her. This is why I keep telling y'all to do these daggone orders. And I'm not trying to be funny, y'all, but I'm telling y'all, there's a thing to it. Go ahead on, girl. Go ahead on.
Right along with that. And I didn't know this was a thing. Griff, you may have said it, but I don't remember. But I received an email yesterday after the closing, and it said, it was a pleasure working with you. The signer left you a 5 out of 5 rating in regards to their experience and the signing with you. We will be adding you to the roster for the future. Thanks for your help and great service. Have an amazing day. I didn't know that I was being rated.
Yes, I have talked about, I haven't talked about it recently.
Okay.
But in past videos, I talked about the fact that I found out that they leave comments about us. So they're leaving comments about us too, so that the other companies can see, yes, we like working with her. And this is, I keep sharing with y'all, and y'all don't want to listen. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just being real with y'all. Many of you don't want to listen to what I've been saying. I've said many, many times. The reason why I take some of these smaller orders is because I know if I knock it out the park with them, they're going to leave me a good review. I take some of these $30 orders, these $60 orders, these hour drive orders, because sometimes I can tell that this is a brand new signing company and this person is trying to get a footing into the signing company owner thing. And they just need somebody to just shut up, stop all of this here. You ain't paying me what I'm worth, and just go out there and do what you're commissioned to do. And not shut up from a thing of you can't speak or talk to them, but from a thing of stop whining and complaining, because they're like, this is what I was able to negotiate. I negotiated to the point where I could pay you $60 and I need you to go do this. And then when you look on the settlement statement, The orders for they're getting paid 90, they're paying you 60, so you're getting the lion's share. That we just need you to go out and do it, and then you go do it, and guess what? That helps them because now they're proving to that client that they have that we can get good quality notaries, and then maybe they'll give them higher fees because the title company might say, "Well, we're going to be careful about, we'll say Serenity's signing service. We're going to be careful. We're going to start you off with this and see how you do and how you handle it. And if you do so many, then we'll move you up." So all we got to do, if you want to help somebody, if you really want to help yourself, do right by the people who are paying you, not by the trainers. The trainers aren't paying you. The mentors aren't paying you. None of them are, and none of them will ever pay you. And I'm not saying you can't go to a trainer. I'm not saying you can't go to a mentor. I'm just telling you the truth of the matter. What trainer, what mentor is paying you to do an order? Zero. But that company who's looking in SnapDocs, who's looking in signing order, who's looking in Bankster, who's looking in signature closers, CX Choice, Notary Go, those companies are the one that's paying you. So why you won't do right by them? You're trying to do right by this trainer who's telling you don't do this and don't do that, which causing you not to make money, but you won't do right by the people who are willing to pay you something. What you got, Jessica?
I mean, you just dropped the mic. You just dropped the mic on us. I'm not really sure. Do I have any tips or anything? Tips and tricks? I don't know. Oh, well, I guess.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now that you've done 3, what was the feeling? What was the thought process that you went through to get prepared? Because now you've done 1, you might have done 2 in a day, but to do 3, what did you do maybe the day before to get your logistics together, either physically or just mentally? Like, okay, the actual, you're like, okay, I got 3. What did you think about? What were the things that you felt that you realized that now I got to consider these things that I hadn't been considering in order to successfully get all 3 done and not allow anything to cause a hiccup with me getting it done?
So what a lot of you may not know is, yes, I do this full time, but I am also a mom. I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. They go to separate schools, 30 minutes apart. The 6-year-old has ballet 5.5 hours a week. The 4-year-old has speech therapy like 2 hours a week. So I will say that my saving grace through all of this will probably be the fact that I was an executive assistant for over a decade. I also have a bachelor's in marketing and an MBA in finance. And I got all of that within 5 years, all while playing Division I basketball. So, I mean, that really helped me when it comes to time management and taking control and being able to boom, 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 boom. So I will say, having that under my belt, like it kind of like float, like it just flowed. And when you said in your other video how like you feel like you were made for this, I feel like I was made for this. So I will say, as far as preparing the docs,
did you print the night before? If you had all, did you have all of them?
I only had 2 of the 3 the night before. One of them, I actually emailed them and I was like, I'm gonna have to move the appointment to later because I have 2 other signings this morning. Like, what's going on? And I guess it was an automatic message because I feel like 2 hours before, if the documents aren't uploaded, I always see this email, but the signing order sends it out to the title company saying like, where are the docs or whatever. The title company still didn't respond. So we're like approaching 30 minutes before the meeting. And I'm like, all right, I ain't got time for this. So she emailed like right before I was about to walk out the door. I was like, I'm so sorry. Can you please keep the appointment? I actually thought I uploaded the docs 4 days ago. Ma'am. So I was like, I've been in contact with the signer. So sure, I'll keep the appointment. She was like, please do, because she's at work, blah, 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 blah. So I met the signer at her job. So I only got 2 of the 3 ahead of time, but in as far as like dropping the docs and scanning, the first one, and it's the first time I've ever had to do this. The first signing, they wanted me to scan at the table. Now, I will say it was only 6 pages for $60. Not mad at that. So I scanned the 6 pages. That was cool. Drop the docs right away because I guess a tip, but most of you probably know this, is FedEx, you know, you get the thingies for free to package your
Right.
to package your stuff. So I always keep those in my car. But typically when I'm going to a signing, I already have their FedEx slip, their envelope, their everything that I need in
Hmm.
my bag with me. Because oftentimes I don't have to scan back. But just in case, I always have them on me. So I was able to drop the docs right away because I got approval from the table. And then the one where I had to meet the lady at her job, I happen to live 10 minutes from that one, which rarely happens, you know, rarely happens. So I was able to run home, drop and scan those back. They approved them, and then I just dropped those like 4 hours later when I was on my way to do ballet drop off.
Okay.
Um, Now, I will say my children's father does help out a lot. He technically works from home, and he's in sales. So his schedule is, you know, if I have to like drop everything and they need to be picked up, he can handle that. So as far as like family being in tune and being able to help out, I do have that support system. And if he can't help out, I do have their grandfather. So another big thing that Griff says is being sure that you have that support system, and that when you get that last minute order where you need to be there in an hour, can you do it? So I'm grateful that I do have that support system. So as far as time management and being able to ping pong and do all that, it's fun for me. And figuring out the logistics and all that good stuff, it's really fun for me. So I was able to get all three done with very limited stress. But I will say, if this was 2 months ago, I, I would have called you 20 times that day. I'm not even joking. Like, but yes, it was very smooth. Now, adding another order to that, we'll see how it goes. But I'm waiting for the day where I get four in one day. But three wasn't. It was. I don't want to say it was easy because, you know, logistics, but it was easy.
But what I believe what helps every notary out is just taking orders, because then you get into the habit of the whole process.
That's it.
See, many of you want to just jump out here and start making money. Y'all see those interviews and those testimonies of 5,000, 10,000, $20,000, but they don't talk about the logistics of how they go about doing it most of the times. They just say, "Hey, I'm just doing it." And they talk about, "Well, I went to this company and I went to that company, this, that, and the other." And there's nothing wrong with that. That's because if they made that money, then cool. But what are the logistics behind it? What does it really take to do that? And the reason why, to me, that is important, because not each and every one of you are built for that. So we all may want $10,000 a month, but we're not all built to commit to doing $10,000 a month, or what it takes to make $10,000. Because it's not like, to make $10,000 a month, you just go and just open the water bottle. Nah, it's go to the store, get the cases of water, bring them in, up the 5 flights of stairs. Oh, yeah. After you realize that the elevator is broke,
Mhm.
then you got to go back. That's what it takes to get to the point where you can sit down here and open your water bottle. That's what it takes. And some of us are not built for that. Some of us can get to that. Some of us will never get to that. And that's why I always talk about, you got to accept where you are, but respect where everybody else is. I respect the fact that somebody can do $10,000. I respect that they got a signing company. I respect that they are connected with title companies and this, that, and the other. I respect that. But I have to accept where I'm at. And I have to be real and say, okay, Griff, are you really willing to do that? Is your life crafted to the point that you can put that type of time and effort in? Can you make that sacrifice? Because some of the sacrifice that I see to do that, it would cause me to leave my wife out on the island by herself, because I wouldn't be there for certain things that she need me to be there for her for. Same thing with my kids. Am I willing to do that? Some people, they don't have those things in their life where, no, this is a time in my life where I need to be here for this person for that. And I can make 10,000, I can make 15,000, but what do I lose within my family within this here with me in order to get that. And that's the part that nobody talks about. Everybody talks as if by making this money is some type of fulfillment. If making $15,000 fulfill you, then to me you're a sad case, because I'm like, what did you have in your life prior to that?
Yeah.
That $15,000 is now, that's the fulfillment. That is you. That is the culmination of who you are as a person. That you making 15 grand. No, who I am is my family. Me being there for my family, that's what it's all about. And if I gotta work this many hours, if I gotta do 80, 90 orders or what, I will do that. It's not about me being able to brag. And that's what I feel that a lot of those folk, they're just doing it so they can have bragging points, so that then you'll get impressed by them, so that you'll then buy something from them that's supposed to help you. And the thing is, I have not seen anybody come out publicly and say, I listened to somebody who made $15,000, $20,000 a month, and now I'm doing the same just because I paid them for their time to talk to me. I have not seen that in the 5 years that I've been doing this. And the people who are pop locking and doing that, they already had connections. They already had an inroad. They was already an escrow officer, or used to do real estate, or they was a title person, or they knew somebody, or they mama them, and all of this kind of stuff. They already had connections, and then they just clicked in with this and that, and then it just sort of flowed. But very few of them, very few, started from ground zero and made their way up. And that's what y'all have to realize, that not everybody is starting and bootstrapping it like you are. A lot of these people already got the hookups, they're getting connections. People are like, okay, well, I'm gonna talk to the title company for you. I'm gonna put in a good word for you. And then next thing you know, they're like, wow, I don't know where all of this business coming from. Somebody made a phone call while you were asleep last night. And when you woke up, now you got all these people calling you. And y'all can sit here and be like, nah, nobody, come on now. As much as people be stealing stuff in the notary business and stealing ideas, and yeah, they would. They would. They would do that to save face. And they're out there. I'm not gonna call the names out. People have told me. People have told me, yeah, once you finish so and so's course, once you do this here, and if you prove yourself to that person, they'll put in a good word for you. Okay. So nepotism. Even though you ain't related to them, but there's still some nepotism. And that's what's going on. That's why many of you are spending, running from person to person to person, trying to get ahead, and you're not. And you've been doing this business 2 and 3 years because you're trying to, okay, well, let me do his formula. Now let me do her formula. Let me do their formula. But what you don't realize, you're just not built to do it that way. That ain't the way. Their formula isn't meant to be in you. It's not. And you got to get your own formula. Can you learn a little something from this? Yeah. But now you got to develop your own formula. And the problem is that many of you have never done that before. You don't want to do that. That's why this is so important, getting the right mindset, because if you have the wrong mindset, you will never move forward, no matter how many training courses you take, no matter what movement is going on in the notary business. You will never move forward because you don't have the right mindset. You don't have the proper habits to execute what you're learning. That's really where the failure points are for this. And until you accept where you are, you're not going to see things move forward.
Griff over there getting orders.
Oh, these orders coming through.
See y'all. While he's
these orders coming through.
You just want to like give an instance where I almost got hung up. So and Griff knows about it. So I was doing it was a POA / a seller's package. So there was a title company and a lawyer or attorney involved. So there was a spot for a witness on one of the lines, and I asked the I asked the signing company. I was like, so I wasn't informed that a witness was required. Are the signers aware that they need a witness? And they replied and was like, oh, there's no witness required. You can just ignore that line. It's a something something only signing, so there's no witness required. And I was like, it doesn't sound right. So what I did, which Griff told me technically I shouldn't have done, but I called the attorney or slash title directly, and I was like, I see you have a witness line on such and such a line, but I was told to completely ignore that. I just wanted to confirm with you. And they were like, I am so sick and tired of working with these signing companies. They never get it right. This is not the first time this has happened. You absolutely need a witness. I can't believe they told you that. And this is the signing company telling me, oh no, you don't need a witness. And mind you, this signing, they've been hung up on their process since, I think it was since late October? No, end of August. End of August. And that's no joke. So if I would have messed that up, God forbid if I would have messed that up. But if I would have listened to the signing service, which is very unfortunate because technically I shouldn't be running directly to the attorney or the title company, but if I would have listened to that signing service, I would have bombed the whole thing. The process would have went on longer, and who knows what else would have happened. But that's another thing to point out where Griff said in his videos that a lot of these signing service companies and owners, they've never been a notary before. So although they see the docs, they see exactly what I'm talking about. I sent them a photo of the witness line and they tell me to ignore it. How? If you've been a notary before, if you know what you're supposed to be doing, why would you tell me to ignore it? Like, what if I never went, like, what I shouldn't have done, but what if I never went to title or attorney? And they were like, so I emailed the signing service back and I was like, well, I actually spoke to the attorney and he said that a witness is required. So I'm going to contact the signer and blah, 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 and handle it from there. And they were like, oh, wait, hold on. Let me confirm with title. So they replied back to me. They were like, well, title said that they made the signer aware that a witness was required.
So they, yeah. So this is what happens. The title company, the lender, all of these people, and it's like everybody else knows something, but nobody else, but they're not really talking to one another. And this person is depending on that person.
And
this is what happened.
That's the one I'm talking about, that Georgia property.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, and Georgia is different. And you have so, but these things, and this is why I talk to y'all about this stuff. And to me, these are the things that the trainers need to be sharing, but that gets into the notarization part that they say they don't teach. So they're teaching you how to market the business, but they're not really teaching you about those things. Which states need attorneys? I mean, yeah, needs, an attorney present or witnesses and all of that. And all of that is key for you to know. So that way, after you market the business and you get the order from your fancy marketing, now you're not sitting up there tearing everything down because you actually don't know how to do the job of a notary. That's where it's all at. Now, Jessica, this person here asked, how much time was it for each one of your signings?
Oh my goodness, questions?
Yes.
So the first one, the 6-pager, literally, well, she was one of the women was translating for the other woman. It was like they were signing their, long story short, it was, the signing took 5 minutes because it was literally 2 notarizations, 6 pages. She translated for her what she was signing. And then I had to do the scan backs at the table. So I would say the longest part was waiting for the scan backs. Waiting for them to review the scan backs because the signing company or the signing service, they reviewed them. They said it looks good to go, but we want to wait for the title company to confirm. So I would say in total, I was literally there 17 minutes max. And that's including playing with the little puppies and, all that good stuff. So the first one was like 17 minutes. The second one, what was the second one? The second one was at the job. So that was 30 minutes because she was single and had to read every single page because it was her first time doing this. And she had no idea what was going on. She didn't have her wire instructions and all that good stuff. She didn't know that she needed this. She didn't know she needed that. So that took 30 minutes because she just wasn't prepared. And apparently the title company told her nothing. Which, I mean, 30 minutes is, yeah, it is what it is. And then the last one was, 45 minutes, which is absolutely crazy because when I'm on the phone with the people, I'm like, you said it's hybrid. Do you think she's going to be able to do it? Because when I met her, she's an older woman. I was like, when I met her, I'm not sure she'll be able to, process what's going on with a hybrid signing. And they're like, well, that's not on us. We just handle the paper side. So if she can't figure that out, it is what it is. So we're getting there. It took 45 minutes because she just got her floors polished and the guy put too much on it and she was slipping and sliding. And I'm like, literally like catching her as we're walking to the kitchen to sit down for the signing. And then she's telling me her whole life story. And she's telling me, and this is the loan app lady. So she's telling me about how her experience with the guy that came to her house the first time, how that was, how he smelled, how the chair I was sitting in was a brand new chair because he smelled her chair up that bad. So yeah, we did about to that chit chatting for about 25 minutes. But all while she's chatting, I'm like filling in the county for everything because I do doc prep just like Griff, literally just like Griff. Except I did not fill in the county because out here where I live in the Richmond area, they're changing like the city of Richmond to the county of Chesterfield. And they're like transitioning it as we speak. So I didn't feel like, using her paperwork if I made a mistake on the county. So as she's like telling me her life story, I'm filling in the county and all the paperwork. And then when she finally goes through the signing, she doesn't have to read anything. Thankfully, she was like, I trust you. I'm good. And in my head, I'm like, well, I didn't put these docs together, but I'm glad you trust me. She's like, I trust you. So she just signed everything in a matter of 20 minutes. It was like 60 pages. I swear it was like 17 notarizations, and I'm not exaggerating. And that was a refi. So that was about 45 minutes because of her whole life story and me making sure she doesn't fall and break her back as I'm walking to her kitchen table.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't terrible. I don't think I've ever had a signing that's lasted longer than an hour. And that hour signing was at a restaurant with a vet, and it was right after Veterans Day. So
Okay. Gotcha. And just so we can go back, somebody asked about what is a hybrid signing. Hybrid is where they're e-signing some of the documents before they get to you. And a lot of the HELOCs right now are hybrids. So I just got one that I'm doing on Monday. I just picked up two and they both pay 50 each. So for Monday and Wednesday next week or something like that, or Tuesday, Thursday, something like that. And they have to e-sign a portion of the documents. And basically they're e-signing documents that don't need to be notarized. And then with you, there's some documents that they probably and this is another aspect of it. There's certain requirements where it's like that company may have requirements that certain pages have to have a ink signature on there, and they won't accept an electronically signed one. So, and that's a big deal because not if that's why everybody runs. I'm gonna be Ron. I'm gonna be Ron. Not everybody accepts Ron stuff. You see, so there are e-signed documents that don't need to be notarized, and then the ones that need to be notarized in front of you, that's what you're taking there with them. In case in point, I had a direct client contact me to do a power of attorney for them, and I was like, okay, cool, ready to get. We were gonna do it last night, and then at the last minute, the attorneys called me, sent me an email saying the lender won't accept the e-signed document. So they had to. So I was like, "Do you need me to run over?" Because I was thinking maybe they was in my area, but just didn't like maybe in the Newport News or something like that. They're like, "No, they're not nowhere near local to you." So now they have to find somebody to physically go and do this power of attorney. But at the same time, I do have a power of attorney that I'm waiting for this person who's in Japan to get with me so I can do their power of attorney. Hopefully this weekend, might be later tonight. I don't know. So I'm waiting to hear back from them, and we've been waiting for 2 days to try to figure out how we're going to coordinate this because they're like 12, 13 hours ahead time zone wise. So what is nighttime? So this is 10 something, maybe 9 something in the morning there. And I haven't heard anything, no emails or nothing, except I did get a text message saying that they'll check their email for what I sent them. I sent them a text saying, hey, check the email, sent you instructions, and they're like, okay, that was it. So I don't know when I'm going to meet with them, but I told the title company, yeah, I'm just checking now, and nope, haven't gotten anything back from them. So I'll whenever they hit me back up, I'll get it done. I'll get it done. But that's it. Well, Jessica, I'm gonna let you bounce
All
and
right.
everything, and really, really appreciate you and everything that you are accomplishing. Just keep going, and as you do this, you're going to learn. You're going to learn more and more, and before you know it, by the time you hit maybe the end part of summer, if not before, you'll be at over 100. And see, what y'all got to realize is that as she's putting these orders into SnapDocs, the companies see that she's working
I got one
as
for
she as she updates her profile, her written profile in um signing order and any other platform that doesn't allow you to track your orders. They see that, oh, you've done 40, oh, now you're at 50, oh, you're at 57. They see that constant growth and increase. And this is the problem that I have with a lot of notaries. I don't understand, well, with people who are notaries. As a person, people want to see growth and progress, but you're doing everything you can to come up with excuses as to not to acquire growth and process. So growth and process should be in your life, and you have it in every other area, in your marriage, with your kids, with your W-2, with your family members, with your friends, and all of that. Y'all are trying to have growth and progress in those areas, but you won't have growth and progress in the notary business. You're like stagnant. Oh, I can't do it. I'm not doing that order. And got your nose all turned up, and y'all loud and proud, and and you're sitting there broke. But yet, you're spending more time trying to figure out how you can pay for the next conference and for the next training course that somebody's going to have, because you think that's going to be it. That's the one. That's the ticket. Yeah. And then you're still broke. And I'm not trying to be funny, but that's what's happening to a lot of y'all. And I'm trying to move y'all. I'm trying to encourage y'all to move out of that broke mindset and get into what? Making money and doing this thing for yourself. Any last words you got?
Good luck out there, y'all. See you when to see you. I don't have anything else to say, but I really wish all of y'all the best. And he didn't tell me to say this, but being a part of Griff's membership literally changed my life. So I highly suggested it for you. But yeah, that's all, folks. And I'm just now seeing everyone's comments. So thank y'all. Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Well, you and the little ones have some fun.
Thank you. See y'all later.
Bye. All right. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say, people. I mean, y'all saw the video that I put out, which straight up pointed out what the issues were in 2020. And it's still going on now. So, as I said, now that you know that these issues existed at least 3 years ago, now what? What are you going to do now? This low pay, low balling, all of that stuff existed 3 years ago. And none of these suckers came up with any kind of resolution to it. Nobody came up with a way to increase the pay. But yet there's so many more courses. There's so many more courses for you to spend your money on, but yet you can't make any money because everybody said those are beneath you, and it's just not worth it. But do y'all realize that some of these people with their training courses, they literally are doing my formula? I say take the low orders and just build up volume, because a bunch of low orders will get you to $5,000, $6,000 a month. They're sitting here having training courses, having sessions and get-togethers and mock loan doc things and loan document reviews and having little $10 things and get 100, 200 of y'all in there at $10 a piece, and y'all like, oh, this is cheap, but they're sitting there, they making, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is, they're making money off of volume of low orders that they're of low things that they're selling, low cost to y'all at a high number of people. So why can't you take low cost, low fee orders at a higher rate and make this and make a bunch of money? What's wrong with that? How come you can't do that? Why is that so wrong for you to do, but it's okay for them to do? It's okay for them to do $10 groups, $10 sessions that they have at the Hilton or wherever, and you show up and you pay your $10 and you there. But when you say, well, I'm gonna take a $60, oh, why are you hurting our notary bit? What is wrong with you? You bad notary, nasty, certain such and such and such from the flam to flam. What's wrong with you? And then blast you all over the internet, blast you everywhere. Yeah, they see, this is why we can't do anything, because it's people like you who are tearing this business up. Now I got this here training session that's coming up, and it's only gonna be $10. $10. No limit to how many people can sign up. Yeah, I know they don't like me. I know they don't like me. And don't think kicking me out this business is going to shut my mouth. If I'm out this business, then I'm really going to say some stuff. But right now, and there's no need, and I'm not really the person to call names out unless somebody come at me. But I mean, let's just be real. Let's just be real. Y'all got into this business to make money and to grow. Now, the reason why, let me show y'all. Let me go back to it. Hold on. The reason why I did this video here was to hold myself accountable. I did this video here so that I could be held accountable by y'all. And you say, well, Griff, you didn't know me back then. True, I didn't. But there was many of you who I did. And back then I had 100 subscribers. And I wanted to be held accountable to all 100. Because I knew that if I didn't do this video for myself, this is for me. If I didn't do this video, I could have quit the business and y'all would have never known. I had to put pressure on myself and say, how do I go full time and stay full time? Because I know, and I'm just gonna be real with you, I know how Black people are. So how the little notary business going on? And I knew that I did not want to hear anybody criticize me like that. Now, to not get criticized is one or two ways. Do it, or don't ever tell anybody that you tried to do it. You either do the business or you don't tell anybody. You either do it or you don't tell anybody that you tried to do the business. So I was like, I'm going to put it out there that, hey, I'm trying to do this business. Because I knew that in 6 months to a year, people like looking over the fence. How that notary business there, Griff? And I wanted pressure on me. See, I know my wife would have been like, baby, if you want to go back to a full-time job, that's fine. What's she gonna do? Kick me out because I stopped being a full-time notary? No, that's my babe. She ain't gonna do that. So I was like, I need some pressure on myself. I need to be in a position where people will hold me accountable and criticize me for not following through with what I said, because I know how our community is. Our community loves to trample down on somebody trying to do a business. And you know that's true because our community loves to make you afraid about doing a business and complain about the business that they've invested their own money in and say that it ain't about nothing, but yet they want you to pay them for training. Yes, I'm gonna keep harping on that point. So that is why I did that video to announce Griffin Notary Services is full time, so that I can be held accountable to the masses, which was only 100 people at the time. You see what I'm saying? And I was like, I got to make this thing happen. That if this business fails for me, it's not going to be because I didn't put forth the effort. It's going to be because things changed so drastically that I couldn't do anything. There was nothing else I could do. I did the best I could. And I put forth every effort. I got my mindset changed and everything else. I did what I had to do and it just didn't work. But it's not going to be because I just say, you know what, bumping, I ain't gonna do it. Don't nobody know that I ain't tell anybody anyway. So I'm gonna walk on back to a W-2. I was and still am diametrically opposed about working a job. I know that there could be a situation where I would have to. Yes, okay, it makes sense because things are economy this I get that. But I'm putting forth every effort so that is not the case. That's what I'm doing for me. And this is why I did the video. And why I do what I do is because I know that many of you want to make this work. You believe in yourself to make this work. But it is very confusing to you to hear so many people talk negative about the business. And it's like, wait a minute, you talk positive about me coming in. And then once I get in, you start talking as if I made a bad decision. And now you got me questioning whether I should even do this because you're sitting here ranting and raving about how terrible this business is. I'm confused. So then you get stifled and you can't even go anywhere. How many of you, just be honest and put a number one in the chat. How many of you at some point in time after you got in the business started hearing stuff that caused you to stifle and stall out? I know it has happened with some of y'all that you got into this business with hope and dreams and aspirations, and then afterwards something came up that was you started hearing stuff and seeing things that made you say, you know what, maybe I can't do this business, maybe I shouldn't do this business. As I am grateful that you stayed the course, you are helping the masses. Okay, you are helping me. Thank you for keeping it 100. And what y'all don't realize, I actually was not going to keep, I was going to quit doing YouTube because I didn't think it was affecting anybody or helping anybody. I really didn't. And I was getting some flack. There was people, and I still get flack from time to time. All y'all gotta do check out the comment section. You'll see people coming at me with stuff, and I'm like, okay, where is this coming from? But it was coming real hard when I first got on here. And I was at the FedEx and I was walking in there, and a young lady saw me and she recognized me from YouTube. And when I came out, she talked to me, and that was one of the best conversations I ever had in my life with a person, a total stranger that I didn't know. And when she shared her thoughts with me and I was like, okay, maybe I'm gonna give this another try. Cause I told her, I said, yeah, I was thinking about quitting. She's like, don't. She's like, keep doing what you're doing. She said, trust me, it's helping people. Okay. And I still didn't have any evidence of what I was saying and doing, who I am, how I was helping anybody. I'm just doing videos. That's why my stuff isn't really properly cataloged the way YouTubers say it should be. And then things started changing, and then I started getting phone calls, and then I started getting emails and text messages, and I'm started hearing things that, wait a minute, I thought you learned something. No, they don't teach this and they don't teach that. So when I realized that a lot of this is just getting money from people and not really helping people out, my personality is like, I don't like seeing people screwed over. And when I'm getting phone calls from people in my community, and then I'm getting phone calls and text messages and emails, and my wife has been on the call with me with some of the people from Black women talking about how, yeah, this sister, this Black woman was telling me she can train me and help me, and she can get me orders, and then they gave me these orders to do, and then they didn't pay me, and then they ghosted me, and then I'm calling them and I can't get them on the phone. And I'm sitting here watching people in my community, and I'm not trying to make this a black white thing. This is just I'm black and I see this happening. I'm like, wait a minute, let me at least tell y'all and try to be a beacon of light, try to be some type of example to y'all of what this notary business is really about. Because apparently people got it twisted and they're taking advantage of people who have no business acumen and never done anything business wise. So that's why I do what I do. That's why I put out all the videos that I do. The over 80% of the videos that I've done come from people telling me their stories about what's going on in them and how they was trying to do this business but got sidetracked because of all of this other stuff and how things just didn't work out, and primarily because what the expectations that people portrayed about this business did not live up to it whatsoever. That it was all about getting them to come in and getting their money. And then it's like once you paid them, then they were like, you're on your own. And yes, some of the trainers will be quick to give you their money back. And the reason why, and I know the trainers might not like me saying this, but this is just my perception on this, is that they are allegedly are giving you that money back so quickly, the men and women, black and white, young and old, because they don't want a whole lot of negative press. If they give you the money back, they know that you've been made whole, because there's a thing in consumer protection. See, this is what y'all need to understand. There's a thing called consumer protection laws. And consumer protection laws means somebody who you paying money to need to make you whole if they're not making you whole. In other words, if they didn't deliver, then they got to make you whole. So their way of doing it is to do what? I'm gonna just give you your money back. But what they don't realize, and many of you don't realize, that even if they did give you their money back, if it's found that they just basically flat out lied to initially get your money, that didn't really make you whole, and they can still be held liable for that. And it depends on which state. So some states, they got consumer protection laws that, like, yeah, you might have given them their money back, but your practice initially was very deceptive and you didn't deliver on any of that. And that's a problem, because even though other people may not have asked for their money back, but the practice that you've used it on multiple people. They just didn't ask for the money back. That one did, but the other 1,500 didn't. It doesn't mean that what you're doing is right. It's just that 1,500 people didn't ask for their money back. So we got to have a look into who you are and what you're doing in your business practices. That's just true. And it has nothing to, it's not about attacking any person because they're, a notary trainer. This is just the way the laws are written. Now, that's going to be up to you whether or not you investigate that further for yourself. But I'm just sharing this with you. And I'm also putting it out there so that those of you who want to be a notary trainer and those of you who are existing notary trainers, keep in mind that just because you throw some money back to the person after they paid you doesn't mean that you can possibly be free and clear. You need to make sure that you're not violating those consumer protection laws that are out there. And those consumer protection laws trump everything when it comes to this. And it's consumer because you, as the notary who's paying for a training course or paying for, you are a consumer. You're consuming something from them for pay. You paid them and they're supposed to provide you with something. And if that's the case, then what are they providing? Are they providing you what you need in order to move you ahead? And that's why I keep bringing up the fact that just because they can show you other people who are successful, if it's when you really look into it, those other people are only successful because they already had connections, and the connections to be successful truly didn't come from them. It was just water and, well, let's say ice cream and this it got together and wow, it tastes great. But you didn't make the ice cream and you didn't make the cupcake. They didn't teach you that. They just got you the ice cream and you already had the cupcake. Or you knew somebody that could get you the cupcake, and then wow, oh wow, I'm making all this money because I took their training. Did their training really help you to get that point? Maybe, maybe not. Because if you already had inroads to certain things. You just needed to learn a little something here or there, and they provided that to you. Great. But the person who didn't have those same inroads, and then they took your training, and it's like, and you still stuck, then did their training really help you? You get what I'm saying? And I've learned, and I've been told by many people that there are a lot of these people out here who are bragging about all this money they making. They already had the hookup. They already had it, and they just did this business as a supplement. They had plenty of money sitting in their 401k or their retirement account, and they could throw all kind of money at this, and it was just chump change to them. And whether they made money or not, it didn't matter to them. It was just something they wanted to try. Or they had the personality that, okay, they come in and wow, we're going to give you all the business. All of those are different factors. And for some of you who don't have the confidence in things, there's no amount of training that's going to ever help you to be like them, because you don't have what they have internally, that self-confidence, that tenacity, that discipline, all of that. That's just where it's at, y'all. Now, whether you want to believe me or not, that's on you. But the thing is, if you believe what I just said for other industries, why don't you believe it for this industry? Our industry is not something separate, like we're just this anomaly over here that we can just do whatever we want. We're just so unregulated, which it is. It's very unregulated. We're just doing all what we can do over here. And all of these principles of success, well, that applies over here, but not with notaries. The only thing for success in notaries is take everybody course. You take all these people's courses, and that makes you successful. You got to have some discipline. You got to have some tenacity. You got to have a willingness to go out here that even when things aren't going well, you still want to keep doing it. When you only got one signing this week, but you're going to get up next week and be prepared and go for it. You're not going to sit there knowing that you need to order paper. I ain't buying no paper. Ain't nobody going to send me no orders. And then next thing you know, you get 5 orders for the week and you're like, oh, I ain't got no paper. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. That's the difference. So I see some people said that, yeah, they had that sentence that says, I'm selective on who I allow to pour into me. I've been binge watching your channel. I appreciate that. I'm glad I found a supportive group. Thanks, Griff. Salute, Griff. He said, nope. I just got tired of folks in some Facebook groups who were and still are negative Betties, but they don't stop my progress. I'm going to keep on going no matter how long it takes. Great. I think some of those folks are taking orders, but they're trying to bully those who don't mind taking them to keep up to keep getting ahead. Yeah, they're taking those orders. They're taking those orders. They're doing what they got to do. My man said, I agree. I'm going to keep on pushing. Yeah, that's what you have to do. That's what we all have to do. And I commend them for putting these training courses together. I commend them for wanting to mentor people. One of the things that I've always said over and over again is that I want them to take accountability and share with people up front before any money is spent what the whole point and purpose of what they're doing is. A lot of people are taking training thinking they're going to learn the notarization part. And the trainers are like, I'm not going to teach you that. Okay, so what is it that I'm learning from you? Well, I'm going to teach you how to be a business owner with the notary. Okay, but I need to know how to notarize. Well, I ain't messing with that. So my thing is this: go learn how to be a notary first and then go take their stuff. But the problem is that many of you are taking their trainings first, going out to do orders first before you ever get solid as a notary. And that is not the proper process. That is not the way it's supposed to be. You need to make sure you become a notary. And these individuals will not take responsibility and say, okay, I'm going to make sure you understand properly how to notarize. They use the excuse, well, there's all these state laws and regulations and different little things, and I don't want to be held liable for teaching you incorrectly. So you can teach me how to market my business, even though you're in Kansas. So you're a notary in Kansas teaching me how to market my business in my state. You don't know my clientele. You don't know the demographics over here, but you're confident that what you're going to teach me and how to market my business from you who's in Kansas is going to work in Virginia. You're fully confident. And here's the thing. There's no guidelines in my state that says how I can or can't market overall. To be honest with you, I mean, it's like, because you can't lie, things of that nature. But yet you have a book, a handbook that tells you how to be a notary. And you mean to tell me you can't help me to understand this and to work with me so I can do this right? But yet you can just conjure up. You can just conjure up some little booklet on how to market your business in 5 easy steps. I'm supposed to take that and that works. So you're confident in that, but you're not confident in the notary part. That's the part that don't make sense to me. You're so confident over here. You're confident in everything that's not a notary, but that what is a notary, you're not confident in. And that's why I say the way people market the business determines how people come into the business. If they market it as, oh, you can just make this money. All you need is a stamp, printers, scanner, and you are rocking and rolling and you making money hand over fist. But the person doesn't know how to be a notary. And you're unwilling to help them in any way, shape, or form. And I don't get it that you are such a tremendous, well-to-do, wealthy business owner that you can't help a person in their commission work of being a notary. It's not that hard. And I've proven it with the videos that I put out there. But the thing is, it's responsibility when it comes to teaching people that part. There's a lot of responsibilities and they don't want to take it on. And you know what? They have every right not to. The only thing I ask is that you just let people know up front. All I'm about is teaching you how to market your business. And me teaching you how to market your business does not mean you're going to ever do the notary part right. In fact, after I teach you how to market your business to get business from title companies and all this, that, and the other, there's a high chance that you're going to lose that business because you don't know how to do your job as a notary. That's what needs to be told up front. But they can't do that because in them doing that, you'll be like, then why am I taking training from you? Why am I spending money with you? Because if I do, after I spend money with you, I'm not going to be any further ahead. I know how to make, like I did, I know how to make my flyers. I know how to use Canva and Vista and all of that, but I will not be able to do the job of a notary. And that's my biggest concern. This is why I do what I do, is to help you to understand how to do your job as a notary. I don't look at it as being a liability of me helping you to understand a notarial certificate. I don't. It's not a liability. I can't be put in jail because I'm walking you step by step, maybe even helping you by reading over your state handbook and what it says and helping you to understand. So how is it a liability? Well, what if they do it wrong? What if they market wrong? Because there's no foolproof plan with your marketing thing that you're teaching me. You see what I'm saying? So I know I'm looking at this in a totally different way. I know some people may not care for me and might not like, because it's making people think before they spend their money. And that's what you're supposed to do. That's what responsible business owners are supposed to do. We're supposed to think before we spend our money. We are not supposed to just go spending our money frivolously. We are supposed to think first before we go spending our money. And too many of you have not even tried to think. You just spent money. And then afterwards, you're like, I don't think that was a good investment. And a lot of times it's too late. And even if you did get your money back, you're still a month or two behind where you could be because you wasted time and effort in something that you probably shouldn't have spent your money on. So this is why you need to start asking questions, not from the standpoint of calling anybody a scam or anything, but just to say, okay, well, let me make sure I understand what I'm getting here. You need to read the fine print and all of that. And if it don't feel right, don't spend your money there. And don't spend your money with people just because your friend said, "Oh, I got all kinds of stuff out of it." Well, did your friend have the hookups? Well, yeah. Do you have the hookups? No. Don't spend your money there if you're not comfortable. If you're not comfortable, you got to be careful. And many of you got into this business. Many of you have taken training because somebody who you felt that you could trust told you to, and immediately you're like, you know what? Nah, this ain't right. What they're saying isn't right. And I will say this here, and then I want to open the floor up for questions. There are a lot of people who are notaries and been notary for a while, and they've taken some of these trainings and they've sat there and they told me, they said, yeah, within 5 minutes, I realized this is just a ploy to get your money, that they're not really teaching you anything solid that you can take to the bank. Yeah, okay, they're teaching you stuff about marketing and say it this way and that way and affirmations and all. Okay, yeah, 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 yeah. But a lot of that stuff is, oh, that's an order coming through. A lot of this stuff, somebody got it already. That was Amrock. 10:45 at night, Amrock sending out orders. Boom. That's why you got to be ready. But a lot of the stuff that people are sharing with us is stuff that's already been out there from Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, and all of that. They know you haven't listened to it. They know you haven't read it, so they're taking it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But after you get past all of that, the question is, do I know how to do my job as a notary? And after anybody's training, you still don't know how to do your job as a notary, or maybe you learned how to do it as an notary, but your primary focus is more on the marketing and this so-called expanding into all of these other things, but you have very little attention to detail on the notary part. Something's wrong there, because what you're going to get blacklisted for primarily is because you didn't do your notary part right. What you're going to get criticized about is whether you did the notary part right. Did you stamp? Did you get the signatures, initials, and dates? That's where it's at. Now, I want to open it up. Anybody got questions? Any questions about this business? Don't matter what it is. Talk to me. I know we've been up here, what, hour and 42 minutes. I really appreciate Jessica coming on. If you got questions, thoughts, ideas, something about the business, something you want clarification on, feel free to drop it in the chat. I would love to answer those questions for you, because y'all know I'm all about trying to help y'all out. And again, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Again, thank you, Ronnie, for the super chat. Thank y'all for those who join and anybody who's a member. I meant to say this earlier. Y'all know we got training tomorrow. So I will see y'all, I think, at 4 o'clock. Is it 4 o'clock? Something like that, 4 o'clock and 6. And then I think we got training also on Sunday. And we'll be getting together and it's just going to be open to just talk about whatever you want to discuss and all of that. So yeah, my lady Ronnie, I appreciate the super chat. So do you have any questions, any concern, any thoughts? You don't have to say people's names and stuff like that. You might have heard something somewhere and you're trying to get clarification, because one of the things that I know that helps a human being out in moving forward in things is clarity. When you have clarity, then you're like, okay, now I know what to do. Oh, that's what they mean by that. Okay, this is why they said that. Oh, okay. Now I get it. Now I get it. Many of you got clarity tonight. Oh, so the signing companies leave positive comments or negative comments about us. So, and when I realized that, and here's my um this is my philosophy. And for whatever reason, I can pretty much remember every single company that I did, or at least I can know that I've never done one for that. If I see an order from a company that I've never done anything for, there's a 99% chance I'm gonna take that order. I don't care how much it's paying. The, re- the reason why is because I know that they need a notary to get this done. I have full confidence that I'm the best notary in my area. So if I take that order and I do a great job, then guess what? They're going to be like, man, Griff did an awesome job for us. And if a company who is of a higher stature sees that I work really well and did an excellent job for a lower stature company, like, well, if he threw it down, if he threw down for them, what do you think he's going to do for us? How many of you young ladies get all emotional and stuff when you see some guy that takes time out and it does something kind for somebody frail, a little old lady walking her across the street, or he opens the door for, Big Mama who's trying to go into the grocery store and he helps her with her groceries and things of that nature. You're like, oh, well, what the heck you think somebody's going to do when you, who may have 3,000 orders under your belt, or maybe even 100 orders, and you work with this little small company, you go do a great job and you give them just as much care and attention as you would anybody else. That says a lot about you and your character. And that's what one of the problems I see in this business is that some of the stuff that's being taught out here and said is moving you away from who you are as a person. It's nullifying your true character because you have to act like these other people in order to quote unquote be successful in this business. And the way they are is not you. Who they are is not you, but they're saying you need to be like me. And when I look at who you are and how you are, nah, I can be successful without being anywhere near like you. Your thought process, your mannerisms, all of that, it irritates me. So I'm going to be me because there's nothing on this earth that says who you are is the pinnacle of this notary business. There's nothing on this earth that says who you are is the only way to be successful in this business. There's nothing. The reason why I know that because there's so many other people who are nowhere near like you're behind and they're successful. And then that's when you have to say, well, what is success? You have to define success for yourself. And that's where you're going wrong at. You're allowing them to define success for you. What is success for you? I know what it is for me, and it has nothing to do with them suckers say. So I don't subscribe to what they say success is. I'm finding out here's how to do the business. And based off of me knowing how to do this business, now I can define what success will be for me. But many of you have not learned how this business operates and how to do your job as a notary. So therefore, you can't honestly assess it and say, here's what success is for me. All right, let's go here. Yes, if I have two signers and two acknowledgers, do I record four individuals? No. Are you? What state you're in? What state you're in? Um, if you're in California, if your state says that every time, I won't say no. If your state says you have to record every acknowledgement in a journal, then yes. Like Virginia, we just have to record the fact that we met the person. So you're in Texas, it all depends on what Texas says. If Texas says every time somebody signature is notarized that you have to do a journal entry, then yes, you do. Only for the ones that you acknowledge or do a jurat on. Just their regular signature, no. That much I know. You're not just recording their regular signature, their non-notarized signature. You're not doing that. So but you will have to. I'm pretty sure that you don't. If you want to, I mean, the journal is yours. Okay, the journal is yours. It's not to be displayed and shown to people like, hey, look here, look, I did these orders. So if you wanted to record like tomorrow, this is your first one. If you want to put both of them in there and have them, that's on you. You can do that if you want. And then maybe later find out whether or not that's the way it's supposed to be. I've only heard that for California. That California, and I even met a guy today. he was a California notary, and he said, yeah, he had to record each and every time that they did a notarization for the signers. I know that for California. For other states, I know for Virginia, that's not the case. For Texas, I don't know. And you say you tried to find it in a hard book and still think you missed it. What time is your order tomorrow? Well, if you have an NNA, I was gonna say because you could call the NNA, but I don't know if you have an NNA membership, hotline membership. If you have a hotline membership, depending on what time your order is, you can call NNA and oh, that's wrong for California. See, so that's what I said. You got to in Maryland, yes. So it all depends on your state. Um, you might be able to Google it, and if the NNA has an article in the blog, it might pop up. I don't know if there's any other, and you have the members. If you have the hotline membership, then call the NNA. Check with them, but you may or may not have to and stuff. Yeah, you may or may not have to. It says I'm getting ready to print out sample loan docs from the NNA so I can stop being nervous at my first signing. Okay, not a problem. Now, the one thing I always say about these sample loan documents, the issue with the sample loan documents is that people tend to focus on everything above the signer's signature. Most people don't even focus on the notary part. They're sitting there trying to read and understand each document. That's not what we're there for. So you can print the documents out, but if you're sitting there like, okay, I'm gonna read this. So okay, so this here is such and such document, and you're trying to get education on that document and what that document is, that's not our job. That is not our role, unless I think you might be in maybe Louisiana. I think they have a different, the way they did their notaries is different. But if your state law says you're not supposed to communicate and talk and about the documents because it can be considered the unauthorized practice of law, then the question becomes printing the documents. What are you going to do? And if your thought was, I'm gonna start reading each and every single individual document, the problem is this: those documents vary. Each company has their own style of documents. Let me pull something up for you. Let's do some quick training real quick here. Let me pull something up for you. Because I know you're new with this, CC. So let me pull something up for you to help you out. Okay. Um, where is it? All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Oh, here it is. Let me pull up something. All right. So, um, okay, let me see. All right. So let me pull up these two. All right. And let me get this here straight real quick. All right. Nope. Let me take this off. All right. And then let me do this one. Oh, I don't want that. I want this. All right. And take that off. All right. So, real quick, like, just so you can see this here, CC. All right. So, this here is a buyer's. This is a buyer's that I put together, just made up information on it. But this here's a buyer's. Is this the right one? Hold on one second. Let me see. Hold on. 1 second, cuz. Ah, oh, you know what? I think I did. Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, my bad, y'all. My bad. Old age just kicked in for a second there. Okay. All right, I'm straight. Yep, this is the right one. All right. So let me close that. So this here, and I'm just gonna scroll through this here, and you can always go back and look and slow this down. But loan application, that's standard. But when you start getting into, let me get past this loan application. So now you're getting into these documents here. These are documents that they just have in here because of this company, whoever this company is. All right. So these some made up names I did. This is California impound stuff, California hazard insurance disclosure. This is their tax form. This here, Kathy Bank, this is their version of this. And see, some companies will have this document here, certification and authorization. Sometimes this will be broken out in 2 pages rather than 1. And I point this out because some people, because you see this document as 2 pages and then it's 1 page, and some people will trip out and be like, whoa, 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 something's wrong. Because why is it just 1 page instead of 2? There's some people that will have a fit over that. Okay. Then you got your closing disclosure. This one is adjustable rate. This here is basically an interest only loan. Okay. Now let me show you something over here. Now this here is a different buyer's, different title company altogether. Even the layout is different. They start off with the alter statement. The other one started off with closing instructions. So the layout itself is different. And then they got all this supplemental escrow instructions. And then escrow division stuff, general provisions. And here's something that trips people up. This right here. That person isn't there, so there's nothing, they're not going to sign. So this can be left blank. Notaries are running around. I can't leave nothing blank. How can you fill this out? You're not supposed to go writing stuff in this NA or not here and all of that. You're not supposed to do that. You're not. And if you think you should or you want to, then you need to call them and ask them. Don't just go writing and stuff. So you got all this verification of mailing address, secure document stuff. Then you have this California primary preliminary change of ownership document that's primarily for California. So you can already see you got documents in here, and this was only 19 pages. This here closing was 19 pages for, I believe this was buyers. So this is 19 pages. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. Each and every one of these is laid out different. So if you get caught up into just trying to sit here, okay, the addendum to purchase agreement and escrow instructions. Okay, yes. And you done trained your eyes to just sit here and look at this and like, okay, you're looking at this, you're like, yeah, okay, I got it. When I see this document, I know what to say. Oh yeah, I'm gonna break this down. And here's your lot premium, and then you get over here to this one, and none of that's in there. And you're gonna think that, oh my goodness, what is wrong with these people? You didn't send me all the documents. Or if you got 19 pages and now here they give you 75, because the one that you're looking at is 75. This is 75 pages. So now the question is, do you have too many pages or what? And stuff. So what I'm trying to get you to understand, so let's get past that. Then you got in this here the adjustable rate note. So if you're just used to seeing note and then they say adjustable rate, oh, that can trip you up. That can trip you up also. Then they sign, and then it says and closes the next page, addendum to the adjustable rate note. Not just the adjustable rate note, but the addendum to it. You only see this if there's an adjustable rate. More than likely, you're not going to see this a whole lot. So if you get caught up in trying to read and understand and comprehend this specific particular document, that's going to be a problem. Is this the lady? Nope. Nope. I was waiting for the lady that's in Japan's. All right, that's just the wife emailing me some stuff. Deed of trust. Just scroll through this real quick. My bad, y'all. It's like what 12 pages of that. And then this here. Now, here's where it all boils down to. This here notarial area. If this notarial area has the elements that you need for your state, then you can use it. If it doesn't, then you can't use it, and then you add in an all-purpose acknowledgement. And that's one of the things that a lot of people they don't understand. They really got that twisted, and they just start filling this out, and then they don't even realize that down here it says state of California, you in Texas. And then they ask you to change this, and you start like, what are you talking about? I can't change that. I can't do that. Or I can't leave this blank because if you can't use this, no. And then what we have also is some people do this here. Well, what I'm gonna do is put a line through it. Did they tell you to do that? Well, no, who told you to do that? Well, my trainer said we need to write and then put in a on here. Oh, really? Is that what the people who paying you want you to do? That's the question. This is where we are making a lot of mistakes, people. This is where we're making a whole bunch of mistakes in this thing. Okay, let me see what the comments are saying. So, Griff, how much do we need to show and tell them when doing the documents? I am going to review your videos. Just here's the document. If you want to, you can tell them the title of the document. But again, depends on your state law. If your state law says you can do more, you can. My state law says that we're not allowed to give people instructions on documents that require, as a non-attorney notary, we can't do that unless we have been specifically trained in that field. Now, the question becomes, is the training from any of these trainers recognized by your state to give you permission and the proper authority to delve into basically the practice of law, the authorized practice of law? Sometimes you just need to Google that word. What is the unauthorized practice of law? What is considered authorized practice of law? You need to research that. Google it. What is unauthorized practice of law for your state? And you need to read that and get a bit, and you'll get them like, I ain't supposed to be doing that. I need to stay away from that. So all I do is say, this is your deed. Now, let me come back to y'all real quick. The issue is that people do this thing of, we want to give good customer service. And they define good customer service as talking about the documents. If you talk about the documents, then that's considered good customer service. The more you say and articulate and point and guide and here's this and here's that, then that's considered good customer service. But if you can't do the notarizations properly, is that good customer service? If you can't notarize the document properly, after you've said everything you needed to say about the document, after you pointed to all of the interest rate changes and this fee and that fee, and again, I still have this concept of, well, people say, well, we're just showing them where the interest rates are. Why don't they know what the interest rate is? It's clear as day on the CD. By law, they're supposed to get the CD 3 days prior to the closing. And on the CD, it says what the interest rate is. You show them the CD that you have, it should match the CD that they got 3 days ago. If the CD changes, then they have 3 days to review it. That's law. So if I'm coming in here and they don't know what their payment is, I'm coming in here and they don't know what their interest rate is, there's a bigger problem. Why is somebody buying the biggest purchase of their life and they've been talking with these people all these years, well, not years, all these months, and now you come down to it and you're buying a house and you mean to tell me your real estate agent, your lender, none of these people have taken time out to tell you what your interest rate is and what your monthly payment is going to be prior to me coming there. And it's all on me to make sure you know this for the very first time when we meet. How is it that they don't know this? Now, can somebody not know it? Yes. And the reason why is because they ain't paying attention. They're all high and mighty. They're aloof and they just they're all over the place and they're not paying attention. But that's not my concern. You're a grown man, you're a grown woman. You need to pay attention to what you're buying. That's your responsibility. My responsibility, per my state, is verify ID, watch you sign, and properly notarize that signature by filling out the appropriate notarial certificate. When did it become my job to ascertain whether or not you actually understand what's going on and why you're doing what you're doing? Now, because I can ask, do you know what you're doing? Do you know why you're signing these papers? And if they communicate to me that they don't and they're confused, my state law says I need to back away and I can walk out of there. Because according to my state law, if you unsure about what you're doing, I'm there to make sure you're doing this of your own free will. And if you don't know why you're signing it, well, I mean, I would sign it if somebody would tell me what my interest rate is. Whoa, let's get somebody on the phone. Because if you don't know what's the heck's going on, then why are you signing this? And that's the job of a notary. And that's the main part that's being missed on all of this. So it goes on to say, my question is, will there be any documents in a loan package that requires notarization and the wording isn't there? For the most part, in loan documents, no. No. If they want you to notarize it, they will have it on there. You just don't notarize the document. Okay, I'm gonna just notarize it. No. Mm-mm. Where we need to have common language that where we need to have common knowledge that the documents, it says it. What you okay? What are you seeing here? What are you seeing here, Terry? These documents, if the document needs to be notarized, it has something on there. If it doesn't, it won't. There's no notarization. So just because you see this adjustable rate note, oh, I'm gonna just start notarizing this. Why are you notarizing it? Well, they got signatures. In the loan thing, if they want it notarized, they will put a notarial certificate on there. This one here, nothing. This here disclosures concerning interest rate stuff. They make a selection over here, and then they sign date. This here certificate of compliance. Um, and this one here, I had to call the title company to get some information because I didn't know what went here, and I didn't know anything about this. And oh, I remember. No, I didn't. I didn't. I'm sorry. I remember now because this here is for the bank. That's right. This is for the bank. This is for the bank. So I didn't even. So when I first read it, I was like, "Is this for them?" And then when I went down, and right here, I made up this name. This here person, it's not them. It's this other person here has reviewed all of this, and they're the ones who are signing it, printing that pension individual signing on behalf of the licensee, which is them. So this here's where that reading comprehension comes in at. So you look at it, it says print name of licensee, that people, print name of individual signing on behalf of licensee. Well, who's the licensee? Boom. and then they print their name, and then date sign, which is print name of individual signing. It's weird because it's saying print name, but there's no place for them to sign. Okay. Signature affidavit. Affidavits get notarized because they're attesting that the information on here is true. So now on this one, this affidavit, they actually have an acknowledgement, not a jurat. But if this is what they want on there, even though it's an affidavit, then you roll with it. Okay, this is what y'all want on here. And for Virginia, all I have to do is cross out California, initial, and then put Virginia. Okay. Everything else matches what my state requires a notarial certificate to have. The venue, the date, the signature, my seal, it was something the statement, the notarial statement. So it has all of the stuff that my needs and all of that. So it has everything. And then with my stamp, it has my other information on there. So I'm good to go. So if they need it notarized, they will put the statement, a notarial statement on there. Okay. So let me go back here. Let me go back. All right. Then it says print is regular. No one writes in the journal, but the notary customers never do that. Well, they have to sign their name in there if that's what you're thinking. Let me see what this said. Even if you may not have to do a journal, but it will be good practice to keep a journal in case you may be called by a lawyer about a job. So even if a lawyer call you, they need to have a subpoena. In the state of Virginia, they got to still have a subpoena to go looking in your notary logbook. So they can call you and they can say, well, did you? But you can't just go around showing people your notary logbook. You got to double check your state laws on that. Okay. So just because an attorney show, and that's a question in the NNA, in the NNA certification. Says no one, you must be willing to teach yourself, and it starts with correct. No state laws. You are saying that the signers do not sign your journal after you document, and then rather notarize a signature. In Michigan, the customer signs their name in the journal if we decide to keep one. Okay, yeah, same here. I'm pretty sure that's everywhere. I'm trying to get clarity on what Terry, the notary public, was saying. Okay, gotcha. Okay. So if they want it notarized, they put that on there. They make it simple. There's no I got you type of things with this business. They're not, oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna trip this notary up by dot. So I'm not going to include this notarial certificate on there, and I'm gonna see if they figure out that we want it. That that will be silly, and it will be counterproductive to do. Okay. Here's what's a trip. This document here, errors and omissions. Okay, this here, errors and omissions. There are times where you will see this being notarized, the signatures on it being notarized, and there will be times when it's not. So if you don't see it on there, you don't worry about it. But the last time I did one, it was. I get that. But what about this time? Now, if you are really concerned, as always, call them and ask them. Then the first question you have to ask yourself was the last time I did a closing that had the errors and omissions and compliance agreement notarized, was it with this company? Because it could have been with a different company. And if it was with a different company, more than likely this company may not require that. You see what I'm saying? These are the variables that you have to be aware of. Then the affidavit of occupancy, saying that this here in this case is going to be their primary residence. or is it an investment property or a second residence? And they're signing off on that, and then they're swearing that this here, subscribed and sworn before me that yes, we made this statement. This is a true statement. I've never seen this not get notarized. But if you run across that, you can always ask them. And here's the biggest thing: a lot of y'all are afraid to ask them questions because you don't want to seem like you don't know. But the thing is, there's too many variables in this business with regards to these documents for you not to ask them questions. It's best to ask because of the simple fact I don't know what they mean. And if you're new at this, you just say, I just want to get clarification because I'm new at this and I just want to make sure. That's all. It's nothing wrong with that. You just have to be mindful not to do it every single order. After a certain point in time, you should be able to, like, okay, I understand what this is. And again, this is why I say you got to take orders of all types so you can get familiar with this, because if you get pigeonholed into just working with one company and seeing things one way, and then you come across something else, it can really throw you off. Then this here is the U.S. Patriot Act. This doesn't get notarized. For some reason, notaries think that this is supposed to get notarized. There's no notarial certificate on here. It doesn't. However, there are times when they do put it on there. And the reason why they will put a notarial certificate on a U.S. Patriot Act is because notaries have not been filling it out. So they will put a signature line on there for the signers, and then your signature lines, and then they will have you notarize it to force you to fill it out. But lately, I have, well, actually, last 18 months, I have not seen that on there. And I think they stopped doing it because, in all honesty, it really shouldn't be notarized. The signatures on that shouldn't be notarized at all. Because one, the signers aren't filling it out. We are. The signers, there's really nothing for them to agree. I mean, all they're saying is, yeah, that's my driver's license. But the issue was that notaries weren't filling that form out. So that was their way of making sure we did it. First payment letter, all it's saying is first payment. It's just saying we'll report you to the credit bureaus. If there's no notarization on here, notary certificate, you don't do anything with it. Again, more of this rider stuff, another adjustable rate rider, mailing address certification. All this is saying is if this is the property address shown above, check here. If there's some other address that you want mail to be sent to, check here and write the address there. And then they sign the date and that's it. Consent to use the tax forms, the tax sign thing, the tax form thing, and that's it. So what I'm trying to get you to understand is that there's nothing wrong with you downloading the sample docs, but you cannot allow yourself to get pigeonholed into thinking that these sample docs that the NNA is providing, oh, that's indicative to every single loan. Yeah, all loans will have these things in here. Conventional VA, FHA are all different. Cash deals are different. All of this kind of stuff. They are different. Interest only are different. So you have to understand that the area that you need to be most focused on and concerned about is the notarial area. Is the notarial area in a compliance with what my state wants? It's either yes or no. If it is, cool. If it's not, then you have to either line through an initial and put the correct information, or you use a notarial certificate that is in compliance with what your state wants. That's really it, people. I'm just being honest with you. That's it. Um, the main thing is don't sit here getting scared. Stop looking for something to go wrong. Stop looking for it to be like, oh, there's something that's going to trip me. If you stop, slow down, and just look at the document. And I always say there's two rules of notarization. You're only dealing with the person in front of you, and you give the document what it's asking for. What is the document asking for? It's asking for a signature. Well, whose signature? Well, their signature, because you can't do a notarization unless there's a signature. So if there's a notarial certificate on there, that means somebody is signing it. Well, who's signing it? Is it him, her, who? Oh, that firm? Okay. None of y'all. So I'm only dealing with the person who's in front of me that's signing this document. You sign it, boom, we good to go. Do I need to notarize it after that? No, I do not. I move to the next page. Notarize, 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 don't. That's all this is about. Let's see. Any more orders? Man, they are really pushing some orders through here tonight. They're trying to get somebody to do a door knock here in Chesapeake tomorrow, and I do not have time to do it. And I keep saying not available, which I don't think they're probably sending it to me personally. They're just sending it out, and they've sent it out like 10 times since we've been on live here. It's right, just focus on the notary area. Because even here, what I do is where the heck is it? 24 dollars. So I have my notarial. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not even. I got my notarial certificates here. Um, yeah. So if I have, my notarial certificate, um, this is the one I got for Virginia. So I already got the state, the year, and then all I got to do is fill in the county, the date, the name of the signers if need be, and then whatever document this is going to be used on. And I fill that out, and that's it. The same thing with um individual acknowledgement. I have one already that I got my information on. Where is it? Um, 2024. There, boom, my name. That I already know it's not that they're personally known to me. It's they gave me ID, all of that, and I'm good to go. That's it. That's it. It's that simple. I don't know. Um, nah, with them door knocks, sometimes they're not aware that you're coming. And I've tried them a couple of times and it was a little bit of a hassle. But like right now, I don't have any orders tomorrow, and I'm going to sit back and I'm just going to chill. I got training with the YouTube channel members, Terry. So I got to get some stuff together for y'all, and I just want to be well rested. At 3 tomorrow, I got to do something with my son, so I'm gonna be cutting it tight to get back here. But he need me to help him with something, and I told him I'll help him at 3. Shouldn't take too long. Go over there, knock that out, and then come back here. So I might be running a little late on my 4 o'clock Zoom with y'all. And for those who use channel members, the links on the in the community tab, but only the channel members will see it because there's a secret community section in there for channel members and stuff. Um, I hope this has helped y'all. No, I thought you were talking about signing. Oh, okay, gotcha. But yeah, but that's it in a nutshell. I mean, this is what y'all really need to know. And once you understand how to do your job as a notary, all those other training courses that people have, nah, he's not doing notary work right now. He is just working his regular job. He's not doing notary. He still has his commission and all of that. If I needed him to help me with something, I can pull him in. But right now, he's been working some long hours and he's just tired. And then they stopped, they was doing that. You're a new notary. We don't want to work with you type of thing. So yeah, but he has all the equipment and everything. I make sure he has all the equipment. So there have been people who've asked him to do some general notary work if he's available, like when like on Saturdays and Sunday. Most of the time Sundays, I can take him out with me to help me with being a witness or whatever the case may be. So yeah, so he's not doing it actively, but he's still in a position to do it. But the whole key thing is Once you have clarity on what you're supposed to do as a notary, take whatever training course you want for is how to start a business, how to grow your business, and all of that. Again, are you a person who can handle it? Can you handle what it takes to do what they're training you to do? They're making it seem like it's just a piece of cake and just it's just so easy to start a signing company. It's just so easy to do 80, 90 orders a month. It's just so easy to do 10,000, $15,000. If you're not good with money, if you don't even keep up with your own checkbook and your personal checkbook, you're going to have a hard time with this here. $15,000 floating around. I know plenty of notaries, men and women, who have made over $100,000 in this business. And guess what? They still struggling. They are still struggling because they didn't manage the money properly. Great notaries, they know what they're doing, all of that. But there's a weakness over here that they got to get fixed. And then you have people who are solid and they know what to do with their money. They're just not getting the opportunities. So I want y'all to get the opportunities, and I want the people who don't know how to manage their money right to take a financial management class and learn how to do their money correctly. You see what I'm saying? That's really where it's at. But if you're learning, in other words, if you're putting the cart before the horse, how will the horse ever pull the cart? The horse is there to pull the cart, which is you properly notarizing. When you know that, that pulls everything else. But if you don't know how to do that, you're just sitting behind the cart of marketing and business expansion, and you can't go anywhere because you are supposed to be pulling that with your skills and talents as a notary, and you're in the back of the cart. You're not in the front of the cart with that hitch to you and pulling it forward. That's the way it's supposed to be. And until you do that, you're not going to be as successful as you're supposed to be in this business. You're going to struggle in this business, and you're going to keep trying to figure out why can't you do anything helpful in this business. And when you sit back and analyze it, I'm telling you, you're going to be like, I spent more time and money on their stuff, but none of the stuff for what I'm supposed to do for my state. That's really where it counts at. All right. Would I be able to join the training and see the Yeah, you will. Once you hit the once you hit the thing and you join, you click on the join button. Uh, Let me show y'all. Let me move that right there next to you. Click on the join button, and then you can select one of the things and just and join, and we'll help you. So it's the join button there. You might have to turn your phone sideways or whatever, and all that good stuff. So 2.5 hours, I think we are good to go, party people. As always, I appreciate you. Since I was getting tripped up on the documents, but not anymore. I'm going to read my notary primer, focus on the laws. There's a video I have out there, and let me show y'all again. I did it the other day, but I'm gonna show y'all again. If you're trying to find a video, man, like right now, if you just type in Griffin Notary, um, acknowledgments, acknowledgement. There's this video here called Brief Overview of Understanding Acknowledgments. It's what, 20 minutes, just under 20 minutes long, and it goes over acknowledgments and just to help you understand how they flow and operate and filling them out and all that good stuff. Um, so look at that video. That video will help you out. It'll help you out. So that's really what it's all about. Long as you can fill out those notarial certificates correctly, everything else fine. Because again, and let me end it on this here. And this is from a logical thought process. So everybody, let's put on our thinking caps like we talked about in school when we was kids. And this is not to demean anybody, but this is just me saying, let's clear our mind from all of this other stuff. You are a brand new notary. You've been in this business less than 6 months, maybe even less than a year. You haven't done that much, maybe 5 notary assignments of any type, whether loan closings, loan apps, or, and I know loan apps aren't technically notary assignments, but sometimes we are asked to do those, or general notary work. But nonetheless, you've done 5 assignments that require, let's just say, some type of notarization. Why would you, at 5 closings under your belt, need to know all these aspects of the actual loan documents to present to the person across from you? Why is it so important that the notary knows these things? You were minding your own business. You ain't been doing nothing. You've been in this business for 5, 6 months. You've only got a couple of signings under your belt, a couple of notary things that you've done. And then all of a sudden you get a $125 order. And now you're expected to be able to help this person understand the documents and catch this. The documents you got, you've never ever seen before. There's no documents from the NNA or from any notary trainer that matches what you're getting. Even if it's only 12 pages, because there's some 12-page closing documents out there. 12 pages, 12 pages, 2 notarizations. The problem is you've never seen the layout, any of this. It's like, who is this? What is this about? All you know is they need these documents signed and notarized. And then they get them to you late. They get them to you 35, 40 minutes before you're supposed to meet the person, and you have a 40-minute drive to them. So you already know you're going to be late. So you got all that pressure, all that stress on you. There's nobody out here that is preparing you for that, except for me, in the way I talk about the documents, and I talk about going out here and doing multiple signings. But nobody else is preparing you for that. Nobody else taught you about those particular documents. So you see them and you're like, I don't know what to do with this. I mean, and then you got one or two things. You either run and hide or you face it and go forward. Which one? You call your notary trainer, they can't answer. They're like, hey, remember, I only train you how to get it. Don't train you how to do it. That's the slogan. I train you how to get it. I don't train you how to do it. Train you how to get the orders, but I do not train you how to do the orders. You got to figure that out yourself. So leave me out of it. And you're sitting there like, what in the world am I going to do? That's why I started the channel membership for people to help them out in that kind of stuff. I'm working with somebody tomorrow at 11 a.m. to help her with a closing. So this is right, face it and go. So how is it that you are expected to do this? And then this is the thing. If you forget to stamp, don't nobody out there in this here whole loan process ever say, hey, don't worry, we got you. It's notary, go fix what you messed up. But we are expected to bail and save everybody out. And then you're talking about a brand new notary who's fresh off the whatever, and now you're looking for them to be the savior of the day. Well, no, I don't want them saved it. I just want them, they should have some kind of knowledge. Okay. So who's truly training notaries to have the proper knowledge of the documents that will go across all documents in every situation? And what the trainers out here don't take into account is you as your person, your personality, that you are afraid, you are scared. You don't you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, oh, that's just me. Okay. I'm not trying to, and I'm not always that. There's some people that are that nervous and they're that timid because they've had things that happened in their life as a child that has carried over into adulthood, that has caused them anxiety, caused them stress, panic attacks, and all of that. And they don't take that into consideration. There's people who have learning disabilities, learning issues where they're struggling with learning and comprehending things. And it takes them 5 or 6 times of reading something before it clicks in. But your trainer doesn't take that into consideration. They're just running through it. And they don't give you a replay sometimes. So all of these are factors that can affect your ability to do this your job. So now the question is, what are you going to do to deal with that? And this is why I sometimes say maybe this isn't the business for you. Because if you're not going to change your mindset, if you're not going to develop proper habits, if you're not going to go out there and stop making excuses, which are the titles of my three different books I love, then how do you plan on doing this business? And that's why I keep saying there's no amount of training you can take from anybody to help you overcome your personality issues and your shortcomings that you have within you that's prohibiting you from even getting a promotion on your job. But no, I don't want that kind of responsibility. But now you're going to be a notary trainer and teach everybody how to do this notary business, but yet you wouldn't take on a job that you fully qualified for, that you worked at doing for the last 15 years. And they say, you know what, we want to move you to that position. Oh, no, no. Well, you've been doing it and you can get higher pay. And y'all know there are people out there. If you know somebody that's like that, put a 2 in the chat. If you, and even if it's you that has done a job at a lower pay for at least 5 years, and then they get the opportunity to be promoted to that new job into that position so they can get the proper pay for it, and they say, nah, I'm not going to do it. They're apprehensive about it. I know people personally that is like that. Matter of fact, I will put a 2 in the chat. I know people that's like that, that they're okay with doing all the work like they are a level 5 or a level 7 or a supervisor or a manager. They're fine with doing the work, but they don't want the actual title. They don't want the actual, okay, yeah, I'm going to start making the money as this position that I've been doing for the last 5, 10, 15 years. Now I'm actually going to be in it. They don't want to do that. They're like, nope, never mind. I'm good where I'm at. And then they'll come in tomorrow and be right there. I got you, boss. I'm doing, and the boss is sitting there like, okay, well, you're doing my job. Maybe your boss wants to take a promotion and move up, and they need somebody competent, and you've proven that you're competent, but you still won't do it. Maybe this isn't the business for you. That's just the truth of the matter. And that's why I say no amount of training is going to ever help you overcome that's in you, that's stopping you. Why? Because none of those trainers are taking that into consideration. None of them are even focused on that. None of them even care about that for you because they don't know you. So why would I craft my training to help you overcome your anxiety? They say, well, to overcome your anxiety, just go out there and do it. But there's a lot of factors that is going on within you that stop you from doing it. So if that's the case, how are you going to ever do this business? That's where we're at right now. That's where many of you are at. Oh, your husband? Yep. Yeah, sometimes it could be your spouse that has the opportunity to move up and they're like, no, I'm good. I'm good. Because sometimes people think they're going to lose something. Sometimes people are afraid of the responsibility because if I take that, then there's going to be more eyes on me. And some people, let's just be real, and this has nothing to do with the trainers. Some people purposefully never execute this business because if they did, they feel that there's going to be a certain level of pressure on them to keep it up and to continue to grow and move successfully in it. And they don't want that responsibility. They just want to appear like they're going to do something, but they don't ever really want to do it. There are people that are out here that's like that. And they will take every course and they will be in every seminar and every conference and they'll be on every clubhouse and every YouTube, every live and everything. But guess what? They will never ever move forward. They like, nope, nope, I'm good. And that's and there are people that's like that. And it's very, very frustrating. So I hope y'all got value out of this. Some don't want to fall back if something goes wrong. Yeah, yeah, I agree. So I hope everybody got something great out of this tonight. I really appreciate y'all, but I hope y'all understand even the more why I do what I do. You saw the video, you see what I was talking about 3 years ago. Look at the other video that's in on the community tab, with me with the yellow hoodie on, um, talking about how and why I got started in this business. The issues are there. They're going to continue to be there. Now you got to figure out how you're going to navigate it for your success. I'm gonna do what I got to do. I just hope and pray that you will do your part for yourself and your family. Question those who criticize this business, and don't put up with anybody criticizing you and telling you what you're doing in this business is insignificant and small. Now, how you handle them is, oh, I was trying to clap my hand. How you handle them, that's up to you. How you, if you give them a good tongue lashing or whatever, but you got to stand up for yourself. And none of these people are that special that you can't stand up to them. And I don't care how much money they make. I don't care how many lawyers they try to threaten you with. Wrong is wrong. And trust me, at least in the notary world, ain't nobody got that kind of pull to be like, well, I can just treat you any old kind of way and you won't do anything about it. And everybody's gonna back me. Ain't nobody got that kind of pull at all. All right. Y'all have a good one. Talk to you later. Peace.